Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today we're going to talk about installing additional lighting in the attic. In this particular attic here, there's one light up there, but it does not illuminate the entire attic area. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect into the existing light fixture, and we're going to run an additional wire over, put a box up onto it, and install the second light up there so we have plenty of light up in the attic space. So let me show you what kind of tools we're going to need, and then we're going to go up in the attic, which is a little bit dark, so we'll see how it goes up there with the lighting. And I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. All right, so all right, let me show you what we're going to need, and we're going to get started. All right, this is an example of what kind of tools you're going to need. We're going to need some lighting so we can see what we're doing up there once we turn the power supply off. We're going to need a drill or a screwdriver to install this box up onto a beam up there. We're going to put two screws here, one here and one here to secure it to a beam, so it's actually stationary. We can hit it in with the hammer right here just to get it to hold into the beam until we can put the screws in. We're going to need some wiring to install the wire from the one light over to the secondary one. We're going to need, of course, a socket such as this so we can actually add the second socket. We're going to need a hammer, a Phillips head, and a flathead screwdriver, something to cut the wiring, something to actually put a loop in the wiring as needed, and a wire stripper here to strip the wires without damaging the core. We're going to need some metal cable staples to hold the wires to the beams. We're going to need a couple of screws like this, and we may need a couple of wire nuts, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's go upstairs and we'll talk about what we're going to do up there. Okay, so now we're up in the attic up here. It does look pretty bright because I actually brought a light from in my house over onto the side here so we can illuminate the area that we're going to be working on. But what we're going to basically be doing is we're going to connect into this electrical box over here, and we're going to run the wiring up and over to this area right over here so we can install our second set of lights. Let me show you what it looks like, and I'll explain what I'm going to do, and then we're going to get it done. All right. This is the existing box right here. So we're going to take that, we're going to connect into that box right there. It's actually a plastic box, as you can, oh no, I'm sorry, it's a metal box. So we're going to connect into the metal box here, and we're going to run the wiring along down the rafters over here, and we're going to actually install it on the side. So let me show you what we're going to do. All right, first thing we're going to do, and I know it's a little bit difficult to see up here, first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to mount this box up over here. So what we're going to do first is we'll put this box up here, and then once we have this box up here, then we're going to, let me get a hammer, we're going to do it together. Now that we have that box connected up over here, we're going to take our wiring. Okay, first thing we're going to do now is we're just going to take off some of the insulation. And the way you do that is just come around in here with a utility knife, just like this. Cut it, and then you can just pull it, and it comes right off. Okay, so for now, that's what we need here. Let's put it up into the box. We're going to bring it down through the bottom right up in here. Okay, and the way we do that is we're going to come in through this side right over here, so we're going to take out this one piece here, like that, and just work it back and forth, and it snaps right out like that. And then that's trash. We are going to take these wires now and bring them up through here. What I always do is I always take the wires, wrap them around like this. We come through the box here, like that. This. I'm going to bring you up there in a second, but let me tighten this up and I'll show you what I did. Okay. Okay, this is what I did. I took the wires and I wrapped the wires around the insulation, the ground wire right there. Brought the ground wire up here. These we're going to keep on the side. And this, we're going to loop right around this ground wire right here. We're going to take this, bring it around like that. Okay. And now we tighten that screw up, and that'll actually hold the wire so we have a good ground on the box. We have a grounded here, and we also have it grounded right there. So we're going to tighten that screw up, and then we're going to continue. So let me grab a screwdriver. Now you notice when the screw is turning in to tighten, the wire is actually pulling tighter inside of it, just the way that it was looped around it. So that way when you tighten the screw, the wire actually pulls in there tighter. Alright, so now our ground is done. We tightened up this screw over here, and now we're going to run this cable back behind the rafters, and we'll tighten it in there. Okay, now that we have our wire strung out the way we want to do it, we're going to take our staples like this, and we're going to staple the wire to hold up against the beam like this. Okay, let me show you what I'm doing here, and then we're going to continue. Alright, we put our staple in right over here, and we nailed it in so it actually holds the wire. We don't want to cut into the wire, it's just holding it. And now we're going to do the same thing all the way along here, all the way down to that side over there. So let me staple this in here, and then we'll come back and I'll continue. Okay, now that we are up into the where we're going to reconnect the wire, we're going to take our light bulb out of here so we can get some better lighting in here, of course. Okay, so now that we have the light bulb taken out, we know that the power is off in here because we turned off the circuit breaker down in the circuit breaker box. Now we're going to unscrew the cover right here and take it out so we can see inside. All right, now, I don't know if you can see this okay, but we have this is our ground. You can see where it's grounding around up over here. That's our ground. This is our power lead, and this is our return. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take these wires, we're going to strip them down, and we're going to bring it through right up on the top right there. So, all right, let me do that. Remember, you just cut very little. You don't want to cut deep. You don't want to damage the wires underneath here. And then you pull it, and it comes out. And then we'll strip the wires back right here. Okay. We're going to strip these wires back right here, just a little bit. And you can use your wire strippers to do that, of course. Okay, so that's our wires are stripped back now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put that through the top right up here. We're going to take our screwdriver, put it up in the top here, in that little slot, and we're going to break off the piece. Like that. We just put the screwdriver through it and snap it right off. Right? Next thing we're going to do now is we're going to loosen up. I hope you can see up there okay. We're going to loosen up right up here. Okay. And now we're going to take our wires like we did down on the other end over there. We're going to take our wire like this. We wrap it around like this. Okay. And now we're going to take this and bring it through right up here. Okay. Loosen this up a little bit. Now, after we have it through, we can snug down our holder onto the wire itself. Okay, now we can see our wire is held in there really tight now. But we are going to connect that ground wire with the other ones right here. So that's what we're going to do right now. Screw a wire nut back on the top. Okay, so now our ground wire is connected. We're just going to push it back out of the way. Okay, and now we're going to take our hot wire and connect it in here. Okay. We'll screw our white cap back on here. Nice and tight. Okay. That's all set. Like this. Push it off to the side. Like that. And now we're going to take our black wire, which is right here, and we're going to reconnect our black wire over here. Okay. Now we're going to take our wire nut and screw it back on. Okay. All right, so that's nice and tight. Let's put this cover back on, and then we're going to go down over here and we'll continue connecting it up over there. Now remember, the power is off in this box, just so you remember, okay? Okay, so now we have our wiring right here. We're going to take our socket that we have here, and as you can see, maybe you can't see, I don't know, that's the red wire is actually the ground wire. We're going to connect this ground wire to that little wire right up there that we actually have sticking out like a little pigtail, and then we're going to reconnect this one and this one. The shiny, maybe you can't see it here, I don't know, the shiny gold color one, where are you? The shiny gold color one right there, that's the one that gets the black wire, because the black wire is the power, and then the white wire is the neutral or the return. All right, so first thing we're going to do now is we're going to take this, we're going to connect our wire right up here, and we're going to put our wing nut on it to hold it in place. Put a wing nut on here for the ground. Right now our ground is connected. We're going to connect our black wire. That's what I always do. I make a slight loop in the end of the wire, like this. Same thing on here, like this. And then we're going to connect our wires accordingly. Okay. Now we're going to connect our white wire. Okay. So now we have our two wires connected here, and now we'll take our box. We're going to push the wiring back in place. Okay, let's go get a light bulb and we'll turn the power supply on and we'll come right back. Okay, now we take our light bulb, screw our light bulb in, and there we go. All right, let me explain to you one more time what I did here. You can see that's our light that if we want it, we can use it. If not, we can just turn it out. That's our other primary light over there. But you can see it makes a big difference up here in the attic. See how dark it was up here? That was the only light we had. That's what it looked like. And now you can see it's a significant difference. All right, so what we did is we actually brought our wire, we screwed our box to the wall right here with any kind of screw. In this particular case, I used the drywall screw right here. Drywall screw. We ran our wire through here. We put our staple right here. It has to be within, I think, 6 inches of the box, but you'll have to check your local codes to be sure. All right, we connected our ground, we connected our power and our return, and then we stapled the wire all the way along the beams to here. And then we brought it up into the back, right over here. We have it stapled right here, within 6 inches of the box itself. So we basically connected into the power and the return, and we also connected up our ground wire as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so as you can see, installing the light in the attic or crawl space or basement is really not that difficult. Just make sure before you start anything, make sure your power is turned off at the circuit breaker, not just the light switch. Make sure the circuit breaker itself is turned off before you touch something that you're going to get a shock. The next thing is when you put the wire in and you run the wire from one receptacle over to the other, make sure you connect your ground, and also make sure that you connect up those staples that you saw me put on the wire to hold the wire to the beam so it's not just laying up in the attic someplace. Check your local building codes to make sure how close to the box itself you have to put a staple. I put mine within 6 inches. I think realistically it was probably within 4 inches. But I put mine there just so that there's no movement in the box whatsoever. All right, make sure your ground is connected, make sure you have wire nuts on, and then turn it on and you're good to go. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.